contestar un mensaje y tú dices, ¿qué onda? ¿Por qué no me contestas ese mensaje? ¿Será que te desenamoraste tal vez? Puede ser, ¿no, Cristina? Adelante, presenta por favor a quien tenemos hoy en XFM 100.9.
En XFM tenemos el día de hoy a Drake Bell. Drake Bell, welcome. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you feeling today?
Great, wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to Mexico, first of all. And have you been to Chihuahua before?
I have. I think I played Ciudad de Juárez. Yeah, I think I played in Juárez. Yeah.
Okay, but here in Chihuahua.
No. I think this is my first time
Oh,
here. Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
So, have they taken you, first of all, have they taken you for montados?
Okay, so here's what everyone needs to understand. Whenever I come and visit a city, I go from the airport to the hotel, and then I do 100 of these.
Okay,
so I would say I don't get to see anything.
Till the end. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to take you.
Not even till the end.
You need a break.
Yeah,
You need a break.
yeah,
Not even until the end.
No,
We have
then
to
I go to
order
the
one.
airport, I go back to, and then I go to another city.
That can be. So let's talk business.
So what do I need to see here?
You need to see
And what did you ask? What have I tried? What?
amontado.
¿Qué es eso?
It's like a tortilla of harina, and then it's a guiso with queso asadero, frijoles, and you can split it like one half some guiso and the other half another guiso, but it's this big.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Moni,
Necesito
tienes
probar.
Yeah. So let's talk about your album,
Yeah.
Non-Stop Flight. It was so fun listening to because I was like feeling like in a flight.
Yeah.
It's so fun to like listen to you in this, the captain. I remember this from a Periscope and all that.
Yeah.
So it was very fun for me to listen to it.
Awesome.
And I can't help to feel that it was like also like this real flight, but also like a journey, like through all your styles in rock. Like I could sense like classic rock, and then like in turbulence, like a little more modern rock.
Yeah.
So it was so fun. Talk about it.
Yeah, it really is like a musical journey through the skies.
Okay.
You put the headphones on and you hear the flight attendant and welcoming you to the flight, and we go through all the different styles of music that I've released throughout the years, and it's basically like a story of my life. You know, wanting to. We start off with like wanting to get on a flight because, you know, you're always wanting to escape, and and you know, when you have troubles or issues or you don't feel good in life at that moment, you want to escape, but then you realize like, well, wherever you go, like your problem's going to be there, so you have to work on yourself and then fix, you know, and so it kind of takes you through that whole journey of like wanting to escape and then have that self-reflection and then having that hope for the future at the end. So it kind of takes you through that whole journey.
It's also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's your longest album.
By far.
Yeah, so I was amazed because you've been teasing this album since like, I think like Camisa Negra. And it was all with this aesthetic of the airplane and everything. So how was the process of writing all of this? Was it like, oh, okay, I think I'm going somewhere with this song, and then when was the idea born, or how was it? Because I think it was like 3 years, right?
Yeah, it's been about 3 or 4 years, and I started writing, and I got about 10 songs in, and I was like, oh, cool, I have an album, you know?
Yeah.
And then I just kept writing and writing and writing, and more songs came out, and more songs, and then all of a sudden I was like, this is a double album, you know? But all the songs fit in the narrative of the album and with what I was going through in my life and my story, and so it became this big, grand journey. And then I was doing the flight aesthetic for the artwork, and then I incorporated that into the sound of the album. And you also hear like the sound of the airplane during some of the songs, and then some of the songs lyrics reference, you know, waiting for my flight, or I'm flying on this plane,
or the snacks, or
exactly.
So I was curious of that because I was like, was he like trying to actually fit like an hour and a half sort of time? So because it's like the average time of like goes, right? Or was like came naturally? But you just said that it came all naturally.
Yeah, there was no, I eventually got to a point where I was like, man, if we don't just stop right here, and it was funny because I called the album Nonstop Flight before, that just came to me way before we were finished, and then as we continued and kept going and I kept going, I was like, it's like, wow, that's a very fitting title because this is a nonstop album. Like, it just keeps going and going. And every time I listen to it, I sometimes forget, you know, some of the songs that are going to come next. And I'm like, and then I'll be listening to it and I'm half hour, 40 minutes in. And then a song will come on. I'll be like, oh, I forgot this one comes next. Oh, and this one too. Oh, and this one. I'm like, man, it just keeps going and going.
Right. But it doesn't, I mean, it's like so... fun to listen to it because it takes you like in this ride.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's just the closure is amazing too. Like, yeah, we're just like landing and everything. So it's so great.
Yeah, it's great if you're flying, you know, like today, if I flew from Mexico City and it's like the perfect amount of time,
yes,
you know, to listen to it on the airplane, you know?
Right, yeah. So we have, we're listening, you're not listening, but I'm listening here to Te Desenamoraste.
Ah, cool.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. It's not the first time that we listen to you singing in Spanish, but how was it to write this song?
It was interesting. You know, I had an interesting night. My girlfriend's phone had died. She'd gone to her friend's house and her phone died, and she was just hanging out, and I kept
overthinking.
I was like, why isn't she responding? Like, did she get in an Uber and like something happened? And then now I'm like, wait, is she not responding? Did I going through my message? Did I say something? Is she upset at me or what? And then I got in the studio the next day and I was like sitting there trying to write and I couldn't write because she still hadn't responded to me. And I'm going, what is going on here? Like, I don't even know. I can't even focus to write. Like, now I'm really worried about her. Like, this is weird. This is not like her to not answer.
And the phone was still up?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the phone was still off. And then finally around 1:30, 2 o'clock, she finally texts and is like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just plugged my phone in. My phone died last night and we were watching a movie and I fell asleep on the couch and, you know, we were drinking wine and hanging out and I fell asleep. And I was like, thank God you're okay. All right, cool. Then I put down the phone and I was like, all right, well, now I can write. But I'm like, well, now what are we going to write about?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got an idea. I was like, what about like having the anxiety and the, you know, thinking that, you know, all the different things that go through our heads when we're, and your boyfriend or your girlfriend calls you back and they're like, oh no, I was just walking my dog. I forgot my phone in my upstairs, or oh, I went shopping and I forgot my phone. It was in the car, you know. And you're thinking, what's going on? Because we have these phones now, and we're so used to like
immediate
answers and interaction. When back in the day, it's like, oh well, I'll check my messages. I'll check my messages when I get home, and then I'll call you back. You know.
Right.
But now it's so different.
So different how the society also just evolves, right? So, speaking of love, speaking of all these things that we can relate to, you're working also in this movie. It's called Love Translated. What is it about? And I knew that it's filmed in Mexico, right?
Yeah, it'll be filmed in Mexico. It's a love story about a guy who comes from the United States and falls in love with a girl here in Mexico, and and just kind of the clash of cultures, and you know, an American seeing the beauty of Mexico through the eyes of a Mexican girl, and kind of changing his perception of what, you know, the cliches of Mexico.
That's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah.
So, the question just popped out of my head about the movie, and then you said the culture, and then you've been in all of these projects, music, TV, the Mask here in Mexico last year, and then I saw the story in Instagram this morning also, and I was like, this man just doesn't stop. So I know you're busy, and I know I would like to ask you, what are the 3 highlights of your year? Because it's been a big year for you.
The 3 highlights of my year Let's see. Releasing the album,
Right.
definitely, because that took so long, and so releasing that was really awesome. The tour has been a big highlight, and the third one, man, I've done so much has happened this year.
I know.
The Masked Singer last night was exciting.
Or just being with your family. Or
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It's okay.
I got to spend a lot of time with my son. Even though I've been working so much, I've been able to carve out a lot of time to spend with my son this year, so that's been really great.
So, just to come back to the tour, what are we expecting on stage, on everything that's going to be the concert that we have next Friday?
Well, it's really exciting because we basically bring the album to life on stage.
Oh,
We've got all
that's interesting.
the dancers are the flight attendants, and the band is dressed like pilots, and we have the me coming on and now welcoming you to the flight and playing all the songs, a lot of the songs from the album. So it's cool. We basically like bring the album to life on stage.
So, I wish you're having so much fun with this. Hopefully you are. And just to let people know, I'm going to switch to Spanish right now. Vamos a tener, bueno, no vamos, tú vas a tener la firma de autógrafos más tarde en Fashion Mall,
Sí.
A las 6 de la tarde. Entonces, vayan, los que tienen su boleto pueden acercarse a la firma de autógrafos. Yo también tengo algo que quiero que me firmen, Straight.
¿Sí?
Con
Mira,
boleto en
es que-
mano.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
you'd make me so happy. My inner teen would be so happy if you sang that. And it's so nice to have you here. I hope they take you to the Montados. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just, get your tickets for the concert. It's going to be really exciting. And then come and hang out tonight at 6 o'clock at Fashion Mall.
Perfecto, ahí está. Y el viernes nos vemos todos porque es el concierto de Drake Bell. Va a estar increíble. Tienes que ir a darte la vuelta porque este concepto está muy padre, muy padre. Muchísimas gracias, Drake Bell.
Aparte que es la primera vez que lo tenemos en Chihuahua, entonces esperemos que no sea la primera.
Oigan,
La primera de muchas.
Ustedes no saben, pero viene vestido de piloto.
Wow, está
De
increíble.
capitán.
Ah,
Claro.
yeah.
They are the colors of Bel Air.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Drake. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Gracias.
Vamos a la pausa, regresamos.